So welcome back. I'm Giles Carwin.
And I'm Natalie Jackson, and we're part of the Eros work team.
And this is the third in our series of videos to tell you a little bit more about what an Eros work weekend is all about.
This video is going to be focused on the impact that a weekend like this can have on you in particular when you come to the weekend.
Natalie, what have you heard from other people about the value they got from being part of this experience?
A lot of the feedback that we got is that people got to explore this authentic part of who they are, this really real, raw part of who they are. And it was safe to do so in a mixed gender container. And then they took that away as like, what if that were me all of the time? What if I could bring that out into the world? You can actually have an experience of what if I explore my sexuality and it be okay. It'd be okay in the environment I'm in. I can explore that just for myself and feel a whole lot more power and a lot more groundedness and a lot more like authentic knowing of who I am. Giles, what have you heard from people about their experience after the weekend?
So much feedback we get that things have opened up, that conversations they've never been able to have before, now they're having and they're going really well. And starting to talk to their partners about what they're really wanting, desiring. And they're starting to put themselves out there to find a partner if that's what they're wanting. And just holding other people in a much more generous, loving, appreciative space. Allowing themselves to be much more of who they really are as a sexual being, and allowing other people to be much more of who they really are as a sexual being. Can you share with us a moment from one of the previous weekends that really struck you, that really touched your heart?
You know, I work a lot with women, and so I see a lot of women who don't have a voice and who believe they don't have a voice and who go through life just silencing themselves. Maybe they've been silenced all along, but then they become the one that's the silencer. And there was this experience, this moment we had where this one woman found her voice, and she went from, you know, being really timid with her voice to all of a sudden her voice being heard from miles away. It was one of those experiences where everyone in the room could feel the energy. Something had shifted. Something like foundationally had shifted in that woman's life. And, you know, I've since been in contact with her and lots has shifted in that woman's life. So are there any moments that stood out for you that really struck you?
Yeah, some of the moments that really stood out for me were seeing men treat women really, really well, and seeing women treat men really, really well. Seeing people share something that they've held so deep and so secret inside themselves for so long that they're just dying to be able to say that and still be loved, still be accepted, still be included. And that moment where somebody unburdens themselves in that way is so powerful and so palpable. And I love the laughter and the excitement and the tears and the trepidation. There's a chance for people to really tap into their power and get big and loud. And I love seeing that. Especially love seeing women connect with that powerful part of themselves. And there are moments where there are men who have been like holding the weight of the world their entire lives and just staying strong for the people they love, and finally getting a chance to set down all that armor and to be held themselves and to let go of all this pain that they've been holding on so tightly for so long and just let it flood out of them. It's the most beautiful moments I've ever witnessed.
Yeah, there's another moment where the woman found her power, and she was a little bit, you know, hesitant. She was really hesitant to go into that place of power, to really own it, to really embody it. She'd been really afraid of it her whole life. Was told that it was wrong and it was bad to be in a place of power. So she kind of hesitated. And I just had a sense that once she found it, it would be so impactful that it would take, you know, an enormous truck to hold her back. And that's what happened. She found her power, and there were 3 of us holding her back so she could really feel it. And she knew in that moment how powerful she was. Everyone knew how powerful she was.
And how much it feeds me and feeds everybody in the room to see somebody do some of these things. It's like we get to a point where we're all rooting for each other and cheering each other on and really, really wanting us to be more amazing versions of ourselves. And every time somebody gets a victory, it's like I get to share in that victory. Every time somebody breaks down a barrier, it's like my barriers get a little bit smaller.
Beautiful. So can you tell us a little bit more about the weekend itself, the Eros Work Weekend you mentioned?
Yeah, so sort of the arc of the weekend I notice is that people come in and they start sharing about fear and shame and disconnection and loneliness and frustration. And then by the end of the weekend, everybody is in so much of a more open and loving and playful and flirtatious and respectful and empathetic and empowered place.
Yeah, so that's why we're passionate about this work. We're all about creating freedom and access to who we really are as a full, complete human being. That's what moves us. That's what drives us to do this work, and that's why we're super passionate to bring it, all over the world, to really kind of like open up conversations and experiences around healthy sexuality. So that concludes our third video in the series, which is, we talked a little bit about what the impact might be for you to show up as a participant.
And our fourth and final video will help you address any concerns you might have about whether this weekend is right for you or not.
Thank you for joining us. And if you're interested or curious or want to know more or want to chat with one of us, just go to www.eroswork.com. Yeah, so thanks for tuning in.